What's up, y'all? As we join in, everybody, do me a favor, send this live out to about 3 to 10 people. Just send it to friends. We want to make sure that we pack this thing up real quick. We got the father of Jeff Robinson. He's a very well respected victim out of this situation. We want to make sure that you get in here and show support to the victim. So if you could, I want you guys to send this live to some of your actual followers, people that you rock with, somebody that you think will enjoy or has been enjoying hearing some of the craziness of this actual story. This one is going to be pretty good. Jonas Black Photos. What up with it? Look at there. No, I'm not playing with these guys at all. And they absolutely mad they dried up. Yeah, make sure you guys go to the link in my bio or go to TonyTheCloser.com. We got the Real Estate Rico t-shirts right now. Yeah, man, we ain't playing. We got Real Estate Rico trending. I had somebody send me something, man, from the Miami News. They got, this ain't just in New York. They played it on the Miami News. They said, hey, we got the Real Estate Rico going on. Yeah, they got the Real Estate Rico going on. I'm gonna give Jeff a few minutes to load in because I know that he was working today, so I'll give him a few minutes to load in. This is Jeff Robinson Sr. Uh, his son is a investor with Cesar Pina. He passed away tragically about 6 months ago to a car accident. After his passing, his family has been trying to get their money to take care of his children. He has 2 young children that survived him. This father here has been in the community with his son and his father for over 30 plus years in Patterson. This isn't just somebody that was just some street hustler or somebody that was a nobody. This is somebody that's been poured into the community for 30 plus years. This family has done coke giveaways, free food, all type of gatherings to be a part of uplifting the community. Why this thing means something to me is because the people who do the right thing need to be protected. The families that are out here that are truly making impact and doing it the right way, they should be protected. See, one of the issues that I have with our culture is everybody likes to try to go to this street mindset and the snitch. And everybody wants to apply the street culture. Hold on 1 second. Somebody trying to cut me call again. But the street culture is something that has hurt our community for years. I've heard countless amounts of stories since I've been covering this case, and when I spoke to you, it literally broke my heart. The First off, hearing the father express his pain and the loss of having a child in itself is one thing, but as I heard the backstory and all the things that were happening and what you were trying to do to make sure you could make sure your son could be protected in this investment and also get his money after the fact is something that really hit home for me a little bit differently. So I wanted to come bring you up here and let people hear kind of what your dealings were with Cesar and kind of who you are, because I think this is very, very important for the masses to really truly be able to understand the type of people that they took advantage of. And I remember going to your page before I met you, because one of the things that happened is that your son's story was one story that a lot of the guys who are from Patterson mentioned, but they never would say his name. They would never tell me who you were. They would never say anything, but they said, "Hey, Tony, there's a story that you need to know about a gentleman who passed away, and his family had been trying to get the money back, and I don't think they want to talk about it right now, but it's a story that really needs to be heard. This was a really good brother. He did good for the community, and this shouldn't be happening like that." And you know, our first conversation, I I ended up in tears.
Yeah.
Um,
Right now, just listening to you speak about the whole situation, Tone, is a very sensitive issue with me. I just lost my son 6 months ago, so it's kind of like emotional. It's very difficult for me to even come up here and talk to you today. However, I know that this story must be heard because of all of the uh, stealing that people have endured from this group of individuals. Cesar, not only Cesar, but DJ Envy and his whole entourage. Um, you know, my son was a very hard worker, and the community loved him, and so did I. So his story is very, very delicate right now. You know, especially with me, it's not even so much about the money, it's how they went about getting the monies from my son and also the other people that also are victims in this whole situation. Uh, as long as I'm living till God take me out of here, I will continue to fight for what he deserves and his children deserve. So I'm here today, but I'm speaking to you in pain, uh, in a lot of pain, because Cesar physically, I spoke to him multiple times when my son actually asked me to get involved when Cesar was giving him the runaround before he passed away. Cesar is a very slick individual. He never wanted to physically meet me and sit down with me to go over some of the concerns I had with my son's contracts. You know, had Jeff Jr. spoken to me about it in the beginning of his investment, he know what I would have said. And this is one of the reasons why he didn't bring me until things started to get to the point where he could not get monies from Cesar, handle his business the way he wanted to. So he always called on me, his dad. I don't know what you want to call it, but maybe I was his enforcer because he knew no matter what, I was always come to his defense. So when I asked Cesar about these contracts, this frivolous contracts, he never wanted to meet. He would always make excuses. Oh, bro, I'm out of town. He would tell Jeff. So I actually called Cesar myself and said, look, I have some concerns. I want to sit down and talk to you about this contract. So he would always duck and dive me as a person. Cesar just didn't know that some of the people in his circle had knew me for many, many years in the financial world. I've been in this community for over 50 years, and I'm still here. I policed this community for 25 years of my life. I lived in the same house where I am. I grew up at. So we've been here for 50 years. This is nothing new for me. My mom and dad were here in the same community where they had a junkyard, when I was able to take possession of it. I turned it into what I turned it into. And so I listened to Cesar I'm not really a social media type of guy. All I do is I like to cook and do what I do. But he had made some allegations about how he made my son because when Jeff Jr. met him, we were losing these very same businesses that we've built from back in the early 80s. That is a poor excuse of coverage for him to say this, because I would like for him to show me in white in writing or in black and white where you saved these properties from my son and I. That is so untrue. But I would like to see this. And then when we go to court, Tony, trust me, I will not stop until whatever's owed to those children of my son, they get what's coming to them. And I salute you as well, my brother, for even standing up with all of the criticism that you had gotten in the beginning of this story. You know, I watched a little bit. I didn't come out up front because I was just waiting for the day to come where I had to see Cesar in court. But because of the love that Jeff Jr. had from friends out there, they would not let it rest. And they made it known that I was his father and he needed to be talked about. So excuse me if I may get a little emotional at times when I talk about my son, because it's just like it happened yesterday. Although it's 6 months ago, I miss him dearly. So Cesar is really playing with fire at this moment. And I'm glad that the authorities picked him up, because that is a good thing for him and his associates. I've been here for 50 years, and I'm going to stay here until God takes me home. I'm going to fight for my child until the end, until there's no longer a fight for me. So I appreciate you, man, taking this time to use your platform to acknowledge my son and also acknowledge me for the work that we've done. We don't ask for much. We always try and give. This is what was raised by my mother and father, who started this journey, who started this legacy. It was those two. And I took it to the level, to the point where I can take it and turn the torch on to Jeff Jr. And he carried it very, very well, I must say. I must say that he carried it very well. Even if Cesar wanted to get away with this, the people of this city would not allow this to happen because of the love and the respect that they have for this young man, and not only myself. But it's been really, really difficult just seeing how disrespectful this young man has been to the community, to these people that he's taken their money and he thinks is a joke. But at the end of the day, God has the last say, my man. He will deal with it. He will deal with all of those that try and come before this journey that we're trying to bring out to the people. This isn't about street or not street. You understand? People are talking about someone being snitches, bro. This is right or wrong. This has nothing to do with you or anyone else being a snitch to anyone. This is right or wrong. There's black and white, my man. That's all this is. So for those that want to criticize you and talk about you being a snitch, they need to go somewhere and sit down and get a real life for themselves. But you know what, Tone? This journey will continue. You know, I'm just thankful for the love from the people and from yourself. I never met you until Sunday. You sent me this message and say, hey, I've heard a story. I need to talk to you. Are you willing to talk? And I say, yes. We've been talking, and I admire you, my man. I admire you. Not only will I come meet you in person, because I don't really do the social media much often, other than cook food and put displays and stuff of the food business and the car wash on social media. But I physically want to come to you and give you a hug and show you that much respect, that I appreciate what you're doing for these people. Not only for my son, but for these people that are hurting behind all of this stealing and carrying on. My son got out here and worked every day of his life. I taught him that. I was a single father since he was 5 years old. The courts gave me custody of this young man because they knew that he would be better off with me and no one else. So whatever stories that you may hear, I raised him up until the day he died. He was 33 years old, but I guided him up until the point he did die. So Jeff has lived a great life, man. And I cannot allow Cesar and DJ Envy or any other person take advantage of that good heart that he had. I will die first before I allow that to happen. And I will make sure of that. And I appreciate you, man. I really can't continue to talk as much as I go on. It hurts. It hurts more and more and more. This is not easy for me. This is not easy for me. You know, my son was my world, although I have 3 other kids, but my son was my shadow. He was my shadow from the day he was born. So this is not about the money. It's about the respect that he deserves. And I can't wait to challenge Cesar. Anytime, any place, he want to face me, face man to man, I am here for it. And anyone else that may come against or have something to say to me about my son. I am here for it, bro. Until God take me home, I'm here. Let's not forget it.
Man, every time I talk to you, you have me in tears, bro. Damn.
I'm sorry. I am so sorry,
man,
but
man, somebody get on the phone.
emotional. These are emotional moments for me, Tone.
Sheesh.
I'm sorry, brother.
You gotta apologize.
I'm so sorry. Let me get some. I gotta get some tissue for myself.
I want to tell you that you know we've already had the conversation offline, but I'll say it publicly. I admire what you stand for as a father. You know, it's a lot of black men and women that don't grow up with what you were representing. And I told you, every time I get off the phone with you, I immediately call my boys.
Yeah. Give them that love, man. Every day is not promised to us. Give them that hug on a daily basis. Tell them you love them. See, Jeff was here with me. He was here with me every day. Even though he was a grown man, there was not a day that go by unless one of us was on vacation that we didn't see each other or we didn't call each other. You know, my son, I was a hard person. And, you know, I was very, very hard with my son. And I think that's what made him who he was, you know. But I must say, before Jeff died, he said something to me, Tony, that made all the world for me. That's what keeps me going. And he said to me, he said, "Hey, Dad, I never said this to you," because he was having some issues with some other financial people that was trying to be slick with him with the automobile. And he took me, of course. He would always come to get me for the bad news because he knew Dad would come to his rescue and to back him and support him, just as my dad did for me. So we went to this particular place and we handled what we had to handle. And just before we left, we were getting to pull off. He put the car in drive to pull off, and he stopped the car for a moment. He says, I said, what's wrong? He said, I want to say something to you. It had already been a year and a half. My mother and father had passed. And he said to me, he said, "You know, Dad, this is why my grandma would always tell me to include you in everything that I do. Because for one thing, you're sure to know that your dad would always have your best interests at heart." Okay? So this situation with Cesar, I'm proud of my son for the decisions that he made. He thought his money was safe. He trusted these people to do the right thing. Okay? but not all. Not everybody thinks that way, like he did, like he was raised. Okay, that boy would give you the shirt off his back, just like his dad would. Okay, when he said that to me, it did something to me. It opened up my heart to know that all of the hard work, because it made him who he was. When they had that candle lighting for my son, my young son, I had no clue that many people was gonna come here on this 2 corners of this street. It was probably over 10,000 people here. You could not get in here. So at that moment, I knew that he touched so many people's hearts, whether they were white, black, green, or purple. It didn't matter what race you was. That's the way he was raised. That's the way I was raised. It don't matter what race you are, who you are, or what you are. You could be misfortunate. You don't have what I have, but guess what? You're equal to me. I'm no different than you. There are people that come here. There are people that walk these streets every day that ask for money if they come past my truck, bro. And they say, I said, I don't have any money for you, but you hungry? They say, yeah, I feed them. Not only here in Patterson, New Jersey, but you ask that community in New York City where I cook at. This is what God does for me. As long as I bless others, God will continue to bless me. Why he put me in this position, I have no clue. Why he took my mother first, I have no clue. Why he took my father first, I have no clue. Why he took little Jeff next, I have no clue. I'm still here. I will not curse him. I have to trust and believe that there's something bigger to this story than this, than that. You know, Tone? I'm here, man. You gained a family member, my brother. Although I'm on the other side of the country, you gained a family member. Anything that you need, if I can do it, I don't have much, but I'll give you what I have, or what my support, what I can.
I just
Okay?
need those fries. I need no fries. I told you what I want.
Thanks for
Fries.
making me laugh.
Y'all got to see these seafood fries you got. It's
Thank you,
crazy.
sir.
I gotta get them. That's what I need.
Yeah. Tone, I thank you, man. I thank you for, bringing some light to this situation. You're awesome, and it takes a lot. It takes somebody very strong to take that position, to get in front of this, to talk about it when people thought that you were hating on the other man, or you were trying to belittle someone, or to try and get recognition for yourself. But yet and still, it all came out to the opening. The truth has came out. Still more to come. This is just the beginning. This is all that this is the beginning of a long road. So just get ready. Just get ready. And I'm ready. I can't wait to see where this goes.
I really appreciate you. Man, for the people that don't know, we probably talk every day. Since we met, we damn near talk every day, and I admire what you stand for. I think one of the things that, hearing your story from just being a father that wanted to be involved and do his best for his family, and not only his family, but you also poured that into the community. Um, you know, I just think that we got to get to a place where we have to start standing up for each other. And
Yeah.
I, I, I've been through my own situations where I got scammed and taken advantage of, and I raised hell, and nobody said anything. They just made me the bad guy. I know the feeling when you're like trying to get justice, and it's like you fighting against everything. So I was, I know I'm big enough in this space where people will listen to me.
Yeah.
It came to me, and I just felt like it was my duty to speak up. This has been probably one of the most challenging things I've ever dealt with. Not only from just dealing with all the different people and the different stories that are all just heartbreaking. Uh, I speak to a lot of victims that have went through something with these guys, but then you take on the personal attacks and the slander. My family also takes on personal attacks and slander. The stress that it puts on all the people around me to try to be a person that stands up and
Yeah,
gives the voice for the people, because this took me 6 months of getting disrespected, and I still get disrespected. I'm still getting death threats. I'm still getting violated. As this thing has come to the light, uh, my job and duty, I felt like, what would I have wanted somebody to do for me? And
yeah,
that was just that.
yeah,
I said, I'm gonna just do what was right.
yeah,
I had those feelings, man. I
yeah,
know what y'all feel.
yeah, yeah. And you know what? It's been a very challenging time. You know, not only you know all of my son's affairs, it's been obstacles since he left. Not just this one. There's multiple situations from the day he passed away. These obstacles started for me privately that no one knows. Some know the situation I had to do just to bury my son, uh, with those trying to grab and hold on to things. So I understand what you're saying, um, truly understand. But you know what, Tone? God has your back, bruh, okay? Those threats and things that people are saying stand no ground. Because when you do right by people, no matter what, the evil come against you, God gonna protect you. I believe it. I trust and believe in that. I'm a very, very spiritual individual when it comes to that. I was raised by two pastors. And although sometimes we all have doubt because we're human, but guess what? You have to still go back to what the Bible says. You have to trust and believe and have faith. And that's what has been giving me this peace that I have. You know, I don't know if you saw the incident where I was here, where I was struggling very much day by day with the pain and anger. But you know what? God sent something. He sent a message for me to say, hey, you're going to be all right. Continue. Continue this journey, my son. He left me behind for a reason, because I've always prepared Jeff Jr. for me to leave first. Okay? That's what we do for our children. We put things in perspective for our children. Okay? And this is what Jeff Jr. was doing for his children, his daughter and his son. Okay? So he's no longer here, so it's my duty to do what he would have done, because this is how I taught him to do when I left. If I left before you, son, this is what you do. This is what I left you to do. This is what I need you to do. This is what's this. Do this, do that. Okay? So trust and believe God has your back in all that you do. If you're doing it for all the right causes, you can best to believe that God will protect and cover you. Although they may come against you, you'll be fine, and believe it.
I talked to my dad like a month ago, and we had a conversation where he was kind of like, "Hey man, you got everything in the world. Like, you got everything in the world, and these people are making threats, and I can't sleep at night. I'm having dreams of you getting killed and me being at your funeral." And he's like, "Tony, I don't want to be." He said, "You, them people, man, somebody else needs to do it." He said, "Somebody else needs to do it." And he was thinking like a father,
Yeah,
right?
because he loves you.
And I told him, I said, "Dad, I love you, and I understand how you feel, but the only thing I will consider is if I was in the wrong and I wasn't doing what's right." I said, "I will never second guess doing what's right. I will never think that taking care of my fellow man or woman will be where I would have the fear of my life or doing what's right or wrong. I will do what's right." And Uh, you know, regardless of what people may think of getting, you know, personal gain or whatever. If you've known me for any second, anybody that ever has known me, they know how I operate, how I roll. They know how I stand. I stand for what's right. Since I was a little boy, I'm a buck the system if it's wrong. I don't care. And if once I know I'm right, I'm bullheaded, and I don't care what you say to me. I'm not going to shake. And you know, I've done 6 months worth of research. I'm prepared to be right there front row pointing to make sure that all the families get justice. When I hear your voice, when I hear all the other uh, hundreds of people that are going through the same exact experience where they're going through trauma, heartbreak, uh, financial distress, based off the trust
Yeah.
of being coached by Cesar and Envy.
Yeah.
And there should be accountability for that. The fact that these guys, nobody is taking this shit seriously. Nobody's respecting it as if it's their own money. And the problem with a lot of people is they don't consider it because it's not their personal money. But then when it impacts them, that's when they want to care.
Yeah.
This thing right now is a major situation. We're talking $100+ million. And not only that, you're talking about from good people, just like Jeff and Jeff Jr.
Yeah.
that were doing great things in their life. See, I think the story has been misled where a lot of people are thinking that it was ignorant people that were just putting money out without any due diligence and they didn't know anything. But a lot of people went into business that were business people that had business acumen, that were very intelligent, that had contracts in place and believed in Caesar that he was going to do what he said he was going to do. See, the narrative where I hear like DJ academics and all these people spreading things that are completely disrespectful to like people that went through and did due diligence. See, one thing about it, no matter if somebody was licensed, if they did their due diligence, if you're dealing with a criminal, they're going to do criminal shit. So you can have every contract in place. You can do everything that you can to cross your T's and dot your I's, but these guys weren't upright standing citizens. They were criminals. They were criminals since 2017. I think it's very hard for me to ever believe that DJ Envy can tell me that somebody that has been a fraud for over 6 years, you never knew that something was wrong. See, and then the further that point, you had business partners that came out and told you that they had issues with him, that he was doing bad business by them. And what did you do? You still continue to promote this
Yeah.
guy. You still push people in front of him. You just shoved them into people's mouths. You made it go harder and harder and harder towards the audience. It wasn't like you found out that there was a red flag, you need to back off. You decided to push and promote him more and more and make more money and make more victims.
Yeah.
See, whether the FBI arrest you, I will forever make sure that you're held accountable for the lack of negligence that you had to continuously promote somebody that was doing fucking fraud business because you knew your building wasn't even complete. You knew if you had bad business with them, how could you go out here and continue to promote them? See, at some point, you got to understand that there had to be greed attached.
Oh yeah.
Because it's something that tells you, like, hey, you're looking at 6 years. You're saying that you got 3,000 plus properties. Where are the properties at? See, I've done my research. See, the first time I talked to you, Envy, I didn't have any research done. I have a whole paper trail now of all the different LLCs and when properties were going into foreclosure, you guys were transferring back into Jennifer's name. I got properties that you guys were purchasing, and then you would let them get mysteriously burnt to the ground. I got tenants reaching out to me that said that they look like you guys aren't even like they don't even know who the real owners are. See, I'm hearing a whole bunch of different stuff. I'm hearing a whole bunch of different stuff. And I want to understand, like, if you're a legitimate business person, how could this be going on underneath your nose for 6 years when you share the same office with this guy? Why were you watching drug dealers walk into the building and be okay with them giving Caesar money? You knew it was bad that you would be responsible for it. You sat there in the office. People brought cash money into that building. You were in the building. You know how I know you were in the building? Nigga, they told me, and you got pictures with them. You was hands. So you sitting in the building with somebody that's taking drugs. You know who's a legitimate business person and who's a street nigga when they walk in your business. You letting niggas off the streets walk in your office that you share with your business partner. and give hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash. See, you can talk that bullshit victim shit to the people online, but you full of shit, nigga. And you disgusting because these people are hurting because of your negligence. You're disgusting. See, I listened to you talk about how you stole back in the 90s. I listened to how you talked about going to church, dressing up like you were going to church on a Sunday, walking in the Sam's Club with a church uniform on, an outfit, a costume, so you could steal thousands in electronics. And the interesting piece is your wife was doing it too. Both of you and your wife have petty larceny charges. This isn't new. This isn't new. See, all the stuff that you've been doing bad to people, now it's coming back to haunt you.
Wow.
Now it's coming back to haunt you. See, you literally told on yourself on your own podcast. You should have kept it a secret. You should have kept it a secret. You disguised yourself so the people would never suspect that you were stealing. So I can just imagine when there's millions of dollars, how much more creative you would get in order to duck accountability if something went wrong. Because we know you very, very sneaky. Your wife, she told the story just as good. She knew exactly what she was doing. Like, I just want to understand, man, when you do this to the people that you say, I'm here for I wanted to help my community. I wanted to empower my community. These are your words. You see this father in front of me, man? I don't watch his brother cry every day. I don't watch his brother cry every day because of the heartache that he has to deal with not only losing his child, but now he can't even focus on that. He has to go fight for his child's money. He can't even grieve in peace because you won't do right by somebody that trusted in you and your business partner. I want you to know, man, just like if you haven't figured it out, every single day, no refunds, no peace. No refunds, no peace. Every single day, I will make your life a living hell. I will troll you. I will make sure that everybody knows that you have taken advantage of the people that you said you were here to protect. The same people that you said that you were here to empower, to educate. I listened to the videos where you said that you didn't like all the people that was charging all this upsells in the seminars. And guess what you did? You allowed Cesar to upsell, but you stayed out of the paperwork. You stayed out of the paperwork. So you had some deniability. You could say, hey, man, I ain't on that paperwork. Nobody ever gave DJ Envy $1 because you notice that's the first thing that you said. Then you didn't even say, hey, you said maybe if this is true. Yet you had already known that there had been many people that had reached out to you. See, when you got on my live, all you did was duck accountability and make me know that you were a part of this scheme. You didn't try to come out because you told me on the phone call. You remember? Hey, look, if he doesn't come out by Memorial Day, I will go on Breakfast Club and blast him. It never happened. To this day, it's never happened. Envy, you have never done anything to address the flaw of your business partner. You have never addressed the hurt that this caused to your fans. See, the one disgusting piece that you don't understand is a lot of these people were your actual fans. These are people that have listened to you every single day for years. I got brothers that told me they've been listening to you since the freaking 90s and early 2000s. Since college. You got people that say, man, I've been with this dude since college, man. And you violated all the people that love and care and trust you, man. See, it's called honor. It's called integrity. If you cared about these people, you wouldn't come up and say, oh, I never stole $1. You would say, hey, I feel terrible for everybody that's impacted, and I want to figure out a way to make this better for you guys. I'll do everything in my power, even if that means I have to liquidate my own assets to try to take care of you guys. I'll cut my salary. I'll come work for free. I'll do whatever I can to donate to make sure that we can make impact for you guys. I'll promote your businesses. I'll do anything to make sure I don't leave you in a deficit because I care about my community. That's what a leader would do. That's what somebody that cared about the community would do. When you see the grief that you've caused these people, it's completely heartbreaking. It's terrible. I've talked to so many people. I literally, some of you guys don't understand. I have people that have sent me videos of them slicing their wrist. I have people that are trying to commit suicide. They're talking about all the devastation in their life. This is wrecked families, husbands and wives, boyfriends and girlfriends, brothers and sisters, ruined because they trusted and they were the ones that were like, hey, I got a good idea. They're going to make us some money over here. They didn't put their homie on. Now their homie think they got lined up. Understand what's happened to these people. Understand all the impact of what's going on behind the scenes. And then to watch Cesar get out and come online and post videos and troll the victims even more, disgusting. And Cesar, what you don't understand, man, is I think that you don't understand the gravity of the situation, man. You don't understand that a lot of these people are at their boiling point. I've talked so many people down from wanting to do bad things to you. It's many days that people want to do very bad things to you and all of your loved ones because that's what you've caused them and hurt and harm. And I talk them down daily. You better understand you're playing a dangerous game. See, y'all thought you could make threats to me, but the problem that you made is that you fucked over so many people. You made me more powerful than you ever could imagine. I got to connect with Jeff. I got to connect with a whole lot of guys. And you know them. And you know they don't play. You know they don't play. You know they want their money back. See, the one thing that you guys messed up is that you didn't take these people serious enough to honor what you said you would do for them. But I'm gonna honor my responsibility and make sure that I give them a voice that it's so goddamn loud that you'll never be able to duck, you'll never be able to hide. I'm gonna get you in your sleep. You're gonna wake up and you're gonna dream me. When you in that motherfucking pod and they locking your ass up, you're gonna think about Tony the closer. When you go check your mail, I'm gonna send you love mail. I'm here for the long ride because you devastated Black community, Hispanic community. You can't say that you love your people and do this to your people. It's hurtful, man. And I'm not shaking nothing. It was for a half a second where I almost questioned, like, am I doing the right thing? And when I talk to these people, when I see the hurt, when I see the pain, ain't nobody else going to do it. We always waiting on somebody else to do it. So I said, you know what? I'll be the person that does it. I'll stand up. Everybody's always waiting on someone else. I said, I'll do it. No refunds, no peace. Understand that. I really appreciate you coming up here, Pop.
Appreciate you too, Tone. Thank you, my brother. I love you, man. Appreciate you.
Love, brother. You already know. Make sure everybody goes. I want everybody to go follow Jay Fishgate. If you in Jersey, you in New York, I'm telling you right now, I don't even know if it tastes good, but it look crazy good. I haven't tasted it yet. I can't tell you it's bomb because I ain't tasted it yet. But man,
thank you, man. I appreciate you. And to all of those that's been praying for me, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I love you all. And I'll talk to you soon, Tone.
Go support it. Go to the car wash. Go to the food truck. Go to support these people. These are the good people of Patterson. If you in Patterson, you need to be showering them. You need to show them that you support them, that you stand with them, because when y'all need it, they step up for y'all. They're giving back the and everything every year. They're giving back food every year. I sat there, I was on the phone as I'm hearing people. If you need it, I got you. I hear it already. I've been around enough already in a couple of days to understand the type of man that this is right here. I appreciate everybody that's joined here tonight. I need y'all to do one thing for me. If you got a Twitter account, if you got an IG account, I need you to share this video. I'm going to post this video also on Twitter. I want you to include the hashtag Real Estate Rico. We need to make sure that DJ Envy, iHeartRadio, Cesar Pina, and anybody else that was involved in the Ponzi scheme are held accountable. I appreciate everybody that came here and listened to Jeff's story.
Thank you, Tony.
Salute to you for sharing your story. Mad respect to you, man. Like,
thank you, brother.
I told you, you straight up like a G, straight G. It inspired me every day I talk to you. I'm like, I get off the phone and I'm calling my kids. As soon as I hang up this live, I'm calling my boys, man. You are everything that inspires me to be a better father, man. Salute.
I'm glad that I'm able to have that effect on you, my brother. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. I love you, man. Thank you.
You know what it is, bro. I'm hitting you up anyway.
Yep, I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.